Yo, what up everyone, Amir here, owner of Rappin' and Snacking, getting into another hip-hop hot takes video. These are hot takes from y'all, from Instagram, and from YouTube, so make sure to hit me up on Instagram and TikTok, and obviously subscribe to the YouTube channel at Rappin' and Snacking. Appreciate y'all as always. Got some good hot takes here. It's been a couple weeks since I've dropped one of these, and a few people have been hitting me up, so apologies. Let's get right back into it. So, first off, we got my guy 81. This guy honestly pisses me off every time he talks about Tupac. It makes me mad because he doesn't like Tupac. So he knows he's pushing my buttons, pause. But anyways, he kind of did credit him here, so I'm not going to be too mad about it. He is saying Tupac is a way better actor than he is a rapper. So kind of a compliment, kind of a diss, just because he doesn't like Tupac's music at all. But at least he's acknowledging that he's a good actor, because Tupac is actually a great actor and possibly my favorite actor who is more known as a rapper, right? I mean, obviously we know Will Smith, he is a great actor, and he also had his own show, and he's been in tons of movies, and, I think it's fair to say that he is a better actor than Tupac is, definitely more acclaimed. Also, he's had a lot more time to act. But with that being said, he's awesome, right? But as between actor and rapper, he's more known as an actor. I think Tupac is the best actor that's more so known as a rapper. And I'm going to go ahead and disagree that Tupac is a better actor than he is a rapper. But with that being said, I think Tupac's potential as an actor was unfortunately really cut short, because I think we would have probably seen him in a lot different roles, and it would have been very interesting to see his acting roles develop and the kind of characters he would have played, because we saw how great he was in Juice. We saw his performances in Above the Rim, Poetic Justice, Bullet, Gridlocked, etc. And, Juice being my favorite, but I think in the other movies, maybe the other movies weren't as good as Juice was, but Tupac's performance in those movies was still good. So I think he's an excellent actor, but is he a better actor than rapper? I'm going to go ahead and disagree, but I would be curious to see what other people think. I know my guy 81 doesn't like Tupac as a rapper, so of course he's going to say that. Shout out to him. Next up, we got someone named CoolJanSick.z. I totally butchered that, my bad to you. Anyways, this person is saying DMX top 10. I know you don't have your top 10 list, but would you even consider that? Well, I appreciate you for paying attention, because I don't really have a top 10 at all. I have personal favorites and stuff like that, but to even have a favorite top 10, I don't, and to have who I think are the top 10 best, I don't. So shout out to this person for knowing that. And on top of that, there's no way DMX would sniff my top 10. Shout out to DMX. Rest in peace to DMX. I have a decent sized DMX collection because I respect him and I think he's a dope artist. But I think as far as albums, DMX wasn't the best at making great albums, and people may not like why or that I said that, but I mean, I think It's Dark and Hell is Hot is his best album, and I would consider that to be a great album. But I think his albums after that, although there's great moments and there's good albums after that album, I don't think you can call any of those albums a classic. I think The Great Depression I would consider to be my second favorite DMX album probably, but even that I would not call the classic. I think as an artist, he's so great. He's got immense talent. He has an awesome voice. He has extreme energy. I think he can command a track. When he's on the track, you immediately just listen and just shut up and pay attention, because DMX and his voice can do that. He's good at controlling the microphone. But I think some of the stuff that has plagued him a little bit was honestly some stuff that a lot of people don't talk about, are some of his beats. I don't like some of his beats, that's for sure. And I think some of his songs just aren't good on some of his albums. And I think there's some fluff on there, and I think a lot of it has to do with some of the production he rapped over. Whereas I think some of the more grimy stuff that he was rapping on It's Dark and Hell is Hot was really more up his alley in terms of what he can rap over and what he's better over, and maybe what inspired his pen more. But DMX is always a pretty hungry guy. I mean, so it's kind of tough to say that. But in terms of him being top 10, I'm going to go ahead and say no. I think he's extremely talented, and was extremely talented, and I think that his voice and just his command and just the attention that he just draws from the crowd as well as the listener is very impressive, and really that's kind of second to none. He's one of the best at doing that. But as far as a top 10 artist, definitely a no for me. That's my opinion. Would be interested to see what people think about that. Next up, we got someone here named Big L Insane or Big Ol' Sane. I don't know. But this person is saying Big L was one of the best battle rappers in all of hip-hop and could out-rap anyone. I don't think that's a hot take. I think most people would agree that Big L is one of the best battle rappers around. I think maybe the hot take part is him saying he could out-rap anyone. I mean, that is a for sure hot take, and I would disagree with that. But as far as a battle rapper, yeah, he is definitely one of the best battle rappers around. And I think if he didn't pass away so soon, I think he possibly would have had the crown as the best battle rapper ever. Like I said, possible. There's so many great battle rappers, and obviously there are the battle rappers in the sense of the ones who actually make great studio albums, and then they're the ones who are more so known in, the battle rap leagues as well, that are mainly have the better careers, like on YouTube and the streaming events and stuff like that, which a lot of those people are incredible battle rappers, but they're not as good when it comes to making songs and albums. Big L was great at both. That's why he was so special. He's definitely one of my favorite punchline rappers, that's for sure. To be my favorite, I'm not sure. He's definitely one of the people that comes to mind first. But can out-rap anyone? No. The thing is, when he was actually on tracks with other people like his members of DITC, he's done stuff with Jay-Z as well and other rappers and stuff, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, etc. He's held his own, and there's been stuff where it's been close competition. So I just wish it was something that we can get more out of Big L. I really wish. He's definitely one of the biggest what-ifs in hip-hop for me, him and the DOC, among other names. But yeah, I respect this take, but I don't know if it's such that of a hot take, but respect to it, and I pretty much agree on most of it. Next up, we got someone named Chillin' Like a Villain. This person is saying it's probably better that Detox never released because it wouldn't have topped 2001. I agree with part of this. I agree with the part of this person saying it's probably better that Detox never released. Yeah, I think so. I think it just became such a big mountain of expectation, always getting pushed back and leaks coming out and stuff like that, and people saying, oh, it's coming, or oh, I heard it and it was amazing, or I heard songs and they were amazing, and it became something that was just so big that Dre can never top that. He could drop another Chronic and people would still be like, no, it wasn't worth the wait. Like, that's how much pressure was on Dre. And I personally think it would be better if he either scrapped it or repurposed it or dropped it, but just named it something else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Dre should put that amount of pressure on him, because whenever he drops, people are expecting the best thing anyways, because he's pretty much known as the best hip-hop producer of all time. And, the thing where this person is saying it wouldn't have topped 2001, I mean, that's possible. 2001 is a phenomenal album. It is so incredible. And even if he comes close to 2001, people are going to revere that as an incredible release. So, I mean, that's fair. But, yeah, don't release Detox Dre. I mean, I want to hear all those songs, but just don't tell us, repurpose it and drop it. You know what I mean? Do something like that instead. Next up, we got, this is a hot take. This person, John and Silvertson, I messed that one up too. This person saying All Eyes on Me is not a top 10 album of 96, maybe not even top 20. It's dope though. So this person is saying that All Eyes on Me is a good album. He just doesn't think it's one of the best albums of 96. It's not top 10 and maybe not top 20. So for this one, I usually don't really prepare for these hot takes, but for this one, I just pulled a few albums that I think are some of the best of 96, and there are other ones too that I just didn't grab. I didn't want to just make this such a long segment. But these are some albums, and I'll tell you if I think they're better than All Eyes on Me or worse than All Eyes on Me. First off, we got 96, The Fugees. The Score, no. I don't think this is better than All Eyes on Me. Don't think so. Busta Rhymes, The Coming. Don't think this is better than All Eyes on Me. We got Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. So this one I think a lot of people probably do think is better than All Eyes on Me. I will not think so. I think that All Eyes on Me is better than Reasonable Doubt. Sure, All Eyes on Me does have some fluff, but this one I'd also take off a track. And I think that the highs of All Eyes on Me are better than the highs of Reasonable Doubt. That's how I would swing that. Next up, De La Soul Takes Us High. Great album. De La Soul is an awesome group. It is not better than All Eyes on Me. This one, it was written. Now, this is close, and I wouldn't be mad at someone who says this is better over All Eyes on Me, just like I wouldn't be mad if someone said Reasonable Doubt was better, but I slightly prefer All Eyes on Me over this one. Now, this is the toughest one so far. UGK's Riding Dirty might be better than All Eyes on Me. This is the definition of an incredible album. Not to say that these other albums that I just passed by are not, but listen to this from front to back. Listen to Pimp C and Bun B, how they're rapping. Listen to that production. Just listen to this from track 1 to the last track. This might be better than All Eyes on Me. It's that good. I might still pick All Eyes on Me, but I'm not going to be mad. Same thing with this one, ATLiens, Outkast. This might be better. This might be better. It's that good. It's conceptually incredible. Track 1 to the end, it's incredible. Outkast changing from Southern Playalistic to this. It's a close one. Razzcast, Soul on Ice, don't sleep on it. This shit is amazing. I pick All Eyes on Me over it, but it's amazing. Ghostface Killah, Iron Man. Still picking All Eyes on Me, but this shit is freaking incredible. I'm picking All Eyes on Me over it. Tupac versus Tupac here. I'm picking All Eyes on Me over this, but Machiavelli's Against All Odds might be my favorite Tupac song of all time. This is also close. I wouldn't be mad if someone picked this over All Eyes on Me, but I'm picking All Eyes on Me. And another one, Hell on Earth. I'm going All Eyes on Me, possibly over Hell on Earth. This is actually my favorite Mobb Deep album, so maybe I'll pick this over All Eyes on Me. It's really tough. It's so good. It's incredible. This and The Infamous are pretty much neck to neck for me, but I'm probably going All Eyes on Me. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. Man, another one that just came to my head, Westside Connection's Bow Down. I love that album. I mean, it's just so many of these it's tough, right? Like, a lot of it comes down to preference, and then if I were to really, like, break down these albums and say, oh, on a track-by-track basis, what do I prefer more? I just think All Eyes on Me has a lot of range from Tupac. I think, obviously, Me Against the World has a ton of range, too. Granted, that's 95. But it's just... It's very tough, and I think a lot of it comes down to preference. And All Eyes on Me is also kind of a tough album to compare to because it's a double disc. By default, there's going to be more tracks that are good, and there's also going to be more tracks that are filler or fluff because it's got 20 plus tracks on it. That's just how it's going to be. So I think it's kind of like a tough and unfair comparison, but I definitely do think it is a top 10 album of 1996. I mean, look at some of these albums that I listed that are amazing, and I didn't even talk about like Roots, Illadelph, Half-Light, or Too Short Getting It, or like other albums that came out from that year, amongst others that I didn't talk about, like 3-2's, Wicked Buddha Baby. Like, there's so many good ones, and I think All Eyes on Me is just... To say that it's not top 10 of 1996 is interesting to me. I'd actually really like to see what other people say. I think that album really has so much to offer, and it's really a special one, especially when you count like the tracks that aren't as good. Really, the tracks that are great or amazing for sure outweigh the ones that don't meet the expectations. So that's my opinion. Would really love to see y'all's down below. Next up, we got someone here named Do Ag. Shout out to him. We talk sometimes on Instagram. This person is saying the terms classic and GOAT are watered down. I mean, the term classic is so watered down. I actually hate saying it myself sometimes, like particularly on Instagram where like sometimes I'll write my captions and I'll say like, oh, this is a classic album by X artist, and people, and then I just don't want people to be like, oh, he's saying classic, like he's part of the problem, because I'm like, damn, man, I feel like I'm part of the classic police, to be honest, as lame as that sounds. But I mean, I hate hearing the term classic for every damn release, especially if it's a release that just dropped within the last couple of years or something. Like, bro, like this shit is still so brand new. Or if it's like every album that has a 25-year anniversary or 30-year anniversary or 20-year anniversary, how did that become a classic? Just as it was released 20 years ago, it was a classic album? Like, I just think that's so whack. It could be like Jay-Z's Volume 3 and people are saying classic. It's like, bro, that is not classic. That album is not a classic. It's actually it's in the mid of his discography for sure, middle of his discography for sure. So it's like just stuff like that. I'm just like, what are we talking about here? You're calling everything a classic, so I don't like that. The term GOAT, I mean, I can see that it is getting watered down, but the theory of, so the way GOAT is supposed to be used, it's supposed to be used in one instance. It's the GOAT. It's the greatest of all time. There cannot be multiple GOATs. So if you're saying you are the GOAT producer, you're talking about one producer. You're the GOAT with flow, you have the best flow. You're the GOAT rapper, you're the best rapper. Or, that can encapsulate flow, lyrics, delivery, whatever. But there can only be one GOAT. The GOAT food, that's one type of food. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. So I hate when I hear the term GOATed. I hate the term GOATed because there's no such thing as GOAT. You're either the GOAT or you're not the GOAT. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as GOATed. That term should make no sense. It should be null from the Urban Dictionary, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So I hate the term GOATed. But GOAT, it's like, you can only, as a person, you can only say GOAT like once for each category, because what are you saying? You're a hypocrite if you say there's multiple GOATs, because it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that literally makes no sense. You cannot debate that. So, but then when it comes to preference of who I think is the GOAT and who you think is the GOAT, then we can have like the subjective opinion crap like that. But as a person, you're only allowed one GOAT per category. That's not debatable. I don't want to hear anyone trying to disagree with me on that, because that is ridiculous. Next up, I got someone from YouTube, actually. Two people from YouTube. Actually, a few of y'all from YouTube. But it's pretty much just one take. And this person, MF Doom's Serial. This is what I'm saying. So y'all, drop your hot takes on YouTube too. On the chant, I'm looking at it right now. The community section of YouTube, I asked for some hot takes, so y'all can drop some in there. Anyways, we got one from MF Doom Serial. This person is saying Drake isn't even top 100. He got 4 thumbs ups. And, I mean, I don't have these top 100 lists, so I'm not going to say he is or isn't. But I will say is I think Drake is extremely talented, and I think just the way that he's been able to stay relevant for this long, and not even relevant like headline-wise, I mean relevant making music-wise. There's a lot of people who say relevant with fuckery and, trying to make buzz for their albums and stuff like that, or they're somehow in it with like celebrity stuff and other stuff non-music related. No, Drake has been relevant for easily over a decade off of just music alone. So to say he's not top 100, I mean, you probably just don't like his music, but to like, he's extremely talented and he's dropped some great songs. Like, that's for sure, man. So we can't sit around and say that he isn't. But then we got someone above named Nathan Locke. This person actually has contributed a lot to hot takes. He's saying, I've seen a guy say Drake isn't even top 100. I'm going to say the complete opposite and say Drake is one of the most talented artists of the best top 10 years. I think he meant to say of the last 10 years. I don't know. But, and I'd more so agree with what Nathan Locke is saying. Like, I think he is one of the most talented artists of the past 10 years. And this is coming from someone who doesn't listen to Drake. I've just heard him, on just my friend's playlist, what I've heard in the car, what I've heard like in the clubs or whatever and stuff like that. And then also just seeing like his success as well. So stuff like that. So that's how you can just say he's extremely talented. But then we got someone named MF Sweatshirt. So it's like the whole MF gang is saying that Drake isn't that good. So MF Sweatshirt says he uses writers. How is that talent? And then we got Bryce Deardorff. So people are really just going in. We got Bryce Deardorff saying Dre used ghostwriters and he's highly regarded. So did Easy. Then we got MF Sweatshirt replying, I feel the same way with them. I don't know anyone who puts Dre or Easy in their top 5s, but I know many who put Drake there. So to kind of like, I'm not going to read all these, but this is kind of going back to the thing, right? Do we care more about who's writing the lyrics or who has 5% help, 20% help, 30% help, or do we care about the output? Do we care about the actual finished product? Personally, I care more about the finished product. Obviously, I get annoyed if someone claims that they're like the best lyricist and they only write 50% of their music or of their bars, or if they say they're the best producer and they only added like a snare to it. Like these things would annoy me. But to say that he's not top 100 is kind of crazy because, like I said, in the 80s and 90s and even the early 2000s, when people were really in the booths before they were all emailing verses and stuff like that and doing all that stuff, people had studios packed with 5, 10, 15, whatever people in them and bouncing ideas off one another. So some of your favorite songs and albums really didn't have just one person making and thinking of everything. They had 20, 30, 40 people in their ear, if not more, making some of these great songs, contributing bars, saying, no, scratch that, do that. And maybe they got added to the songwriting credits, or maybe they didn't. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people will give Drake flack and give Dr. Dre flack and Eazy-E flack and all these other people flack, but it's like, that's because they've either admitted or gotten caught or other people have said it. But trust me, there's hundreds, thousands of people who use other writers or use people for help. So that's why I kind of don't like that. But anyways, it's always good for discussion. It's always very interesting. And like I said, I used to think like this years ago, kind of. In a sense, like, when I found out that someone didn't write their own lyrics, I didn't like it, but then I got over it because the music was still good. But it's good because we get to see other people's opinions. I mean, what do y'all think about that? But anyways, I'm rambling a little bit. I got some YouTube hot takes. I got some Instagram hot takes. Keep submitting them. These are very fun videos to do, especially off top with y'all. It's very, very, very fun. Hit me up on Instagram and TikTok at Rappin' and Snackin'. Peep my collection, because I be posting CDs, tapes, vinyl, a bunch of random stuff. And yeah, it's always fun talking with y'all. If you got any suggestions, let me know. I actually got some pretty cool ideas coming up for album reviews. So I know a lot of people wanted album reviews and track reviews, so I'm going to be doing a little bit more of those in the coming videos. So appreciate y'all as always. I'm out of here. Bless.